In this presentation, I'm going to discuss some tips for writing good professional blog posts. First, know your audience. Who are you writing for? A professional blog is typically written for others within the same profession. Someone who is your colleague today might be your boss tomorrow. Also, be aware that your audience is bigger than you think. You may be writing to a small group of people, but because you're on the internet, that audience can grow. Make sure you include enough context so that your larger audience understands what your post is about. Share useful information. What's something that you know that might help your colleagues? What is one thing that you do well, and how can you show that you know that topic? Try to show rather than tell. For example, I'll often post YouTube screencasts on how to do things in Microsoft Word, and then I'll blog about it, embedding my YouTube video. In this way, I've talked about it, shared it, but also I'm showing it. Remember that networking is an act of generosity, and your blog post is in part about sharing something that other people might want to learn. Create a meaningful title. You want your title to be as concise as possible, but also have enough information that the reader knows what to expect. Make sure that the title matches the content of the post. Find a matching feature image. In today's blog posts, it's necessary to include a feature image. When you share your post on social media, that image is a key part of what draws readers to your post. Your feature image should be in some way related to your post. Ensure that you have permission to use the image. If you're searching for an image on the web, ensure that the image allows for commercial use. Also, it's a good practice to credit the creator or the source of the image, even if it's public domain. One place to get nice images is unsplash.com. Another is Flickr. Just make sure you search for CC0 or CC BY licenses. I often start with a Google image search, restricting to tools, usage rights labeled for reuse. When I find something that I like, I then go to the original page and validate that the image is available for reuse, as Google doesn't always get it right. Another option is to create something yourself. I've been known to use word clouds for feature images, or if there's a diagram in your post, you can use that as your feature image. The key is that you need some visual way to represent the content in your post, and it needs to be commercially available for reuse. State the problem in the first paragraph. Your first paragraph is often used as the excerpt for the blog post, unless your theme allows you to specify alternative excerpts. In many cases, readers will read the first paragraph, and if it isn't engaging, they'll stop reading. You want to use the paragraph to draw people in. One trick is to pose a question in the first paragraph that you answer in the rest of the post. End with a question or a call to action. If you want engagement, that is comments, on your post, one way to help encourage people to leave comments is to end the post with a question. That makes it easier for someone to jump in and answer your question. So for example, in my post, what I learned about online teamwork, I ended the post with a question. What do you do to help your online students work as a team? What strategies have worked for you? Be authentic and be yourself. Don't try to be something you're not. Part of the reason a blog adds value to your portfolio is that it helps the reader get to know who you are and the types of things that you can contribute. People read your blog to learn, but also to get to know who you are. They want to hear what you have to say. And finally, don't struggle. Figure out what feels natural and practice. When you first start out, you need to experiment a bit to find your voice. It can take a while with regular practice before you figure out your style. Try not to struggle too much with it. If it feels unnatural for you, then it likely isn't your style. The only way to figure out what your style is to practice. After writing a few different posts, you'll figure out what style you like. Also, reading different blogs will help you figure out what you like and don't like. When my husband and I started writing for Going East, our travel blog, it took us a while to figure out how to write as us, learning to refer to yourself in the third person, but using we when it was both of us. Things like that take a while to figure out, but once you do, the writing becomes a whole lot easier.